Hey, good afternoon. This is Gina with Starrstouch Heartfelt Healing. So I wanted to talk a little bit about COVID. I did have COVID for about 2.5, 3 weeks, and I wanted to explain how it started, everything that happened, and what I did to feel better, because I definitely feel back to normal. So the first thing that happened is I got a severe headache. It was behind my eyes. It just felt like I couldn't tolerate it. It was so bad, and there was nothing that was getting rid of it. I tried pressure points. I was trying just even headache medication, anything. It was just impossible to penetrate this headache. I tried to do the neti pot, and nothing would come out. So I'm like, okay, it's not in my sinuses. What is this thing? So the next thing that happened is I finally realized that if I put 2 racquetballs in a sock, put it behind my head, right around that occipital bone, and I laid back on it and it put pressure on there, and that relieved it enough for me to fall asleep, but literally woke up with it again the next day. From there, it went into a stiff neck. I had severe neck pain and stiff neck, kind of like I have with Lyme disease. They call it Lyme shrug. Well, it just hurts so bad. Even going to the chiropractor, there's no way to crack it out of there. It's just like it's so stiff and it just hurts so bad. So I couldn't figure it out. I just kept thinking, okay, I'm going to keep doing all the things I know, just to take some Lyme remedies like andrographis and things that I do that would typically push that out of there. Well, nothing was working. So finally, the next day it went into my lungs, and I was like, I couldn't breathe very well. I was having a hard time gasping, not getting my breath. And then my arms were so weak. I've never been so weak. It's just like, oh, to do anything was such a horrible task. So I realized I should take my at-home COVID test. I had one in the cupboard, and I thought, hey, I'm going to take this test. And so I don't know, it could have been my fault for not shoving the Q-tip up there far enough. I'm not sure, but it came back negative. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to go with the fact that it's something respiratory. It's something, could be Lyme oriented. When you have so many different things going on, it's hard to pinpoint what it is. So I just kind of did all my remedies that I always do for multiple days. I did my olive leaf extract. I was taking that. I was doing the Rife machine, where I have a light bulb that shines frequency lights in to kill bacteria. I was doing a lot of different nebulizing, just straight nebulizer. And so these things were doing absolutely nothing. And I have a cousin that is into energy medicine, and she started helping me by telling me different things to do, like pressing on these points, like some of those videos that I do where it's, massaging this area through your chest and stuff. Well, she said, right here, massage this every day. So I did. I mean, I was massaging it every day, just kind of bringing energy to that spot. And then she said, make crazy eights across your chest, and that moves the energy around. And I was doing all these things and then opening up. And I think a lot of it too could have been emotional, because I have a lot of emotional things going on in my life. So I'm sitting here going, okay, I need to use Reiki too. So I'm having friends do Reiki, and I can't thank everybody enough. I've had so much good energy sent my way, and opening my heart and really just concentrating on getting well. I think part of it is that sometimes God just says it's time for you to take a break. You've been doing stuff and you're not taking care of yourself. You're too busy doing other things. So I'm going to shut you down. And that's what happened. I was in bed. I couldn't do anything, weak as can be. Then there was a few things that I felt like turned the corner for me. My cousin had mentioned this lung tonic. There's another kind out there too, but this here has lobelia leaf, and it has a few different things in it. And I will put the information on the bottom of this video. I'll put it in the description list of all the things that I did. I didn't realize it either that, so hydrochloroquine is what people take for COVID a lot of times. And so I looked up a recipe online. There's a lady, and I'll put her link in there, that it's like quinine, and quinine kills babesia, which I've had in my lifetime already. It's kind of like a parasite. And so this, you peel your grapefruit, you get 3 grapefruits, 3 lemons, you peel the peels off, put distilled water or, good water in there, and then you simmer this for 3 hours. and it's very bitter. But actually it sweetens up a little bit for some reason. I could tolerate it without anything added to after, but it makes only a small container out of all of that. So 3 hours of simmering, you leave the lid on and you don't allow the steam to leave because the steam has the quinine in it. And that's one of the remedies they say will help COVID. So I thought I'm going to try that. I think that helped turn the corner. That, and also I have wormwood. Wormwood is Artemisia, and there's cloves in this. I've had this for years. You can tell the bottle's just tattered. And I used to take this for babesia. I didn't know COVID was so directly linked to parasites, evidently, because when they give out that ivermectin, it's a parasite killer. It's a dewormer. And so I started taking drops of this as well. And these things, this caused a fever. I always take my temperature with a Vicks thermometer. It's easy because it's flexible, it's fast. I can take it over and over all day long. And so I took my temperature before and I took this stuff and it got me to a temperature of 99.5. 99.5 for me is always telling me that I'm killing something. And generally it was Bartonella in the Lyme type stuff. But right now, yeah, with COVID, I feel like I'm dealing with almost the same thing. It's incredible. It just goes after the lungs so bad. And I already had reactive lung disease. You know, I can't be around flowers or, you know, chemicals very well because it affects my lungs so much. So I know I'm jumping around. Wow, I feel like I'm all over the place. But so colloidal silver, it's another thing. I would take a tablespoon of colloidal silver. This is 120 ppms. You can get it in 50. You can buy it in a thing that you can squirt up your nose, but with this colloidal silver, I put it in my neti pot, a tablespoon of that in my neti pot, along with the salts that they sell for that, neti pot salt. And I would run this thing through. This was after I was diagnosed with COVID and I started having something to get rid of. And I'm telling you, all of a sudden one day, it's just all this stuff came out. And I thought, okay, maybe that's, you know, maybe this is the breakthrough. I had to do some of these other remedies, some of these parasite killers or whatever, in order to get this to the point where it can actually form there and get out of there. And I'm still doing the colloidal silver neti pot right now because I'm not going to stop prematurely and have this come back. I had another friend bring me some elderberry echinacea, and it's a dried mix that you put in a pan and you simmer it for multiple hours. And it's same as like elderberry syrup, but it has echinacea in there too. And so I've been drinking that. You take a little bit all day long. You can take a tablespoon here, tablespoon there. Also, Essiac tea. I made a video not too long ago about Essiac tea, which a lot of people, my dad used it and helped get rid of his cancer. He had lymphoma in his neck. Well, this is a detoxification type thing. It helps detox and cleanse the body. And so I've been drinking some of this every day, an ounce every morning. Because once you kill these parasites, you have to get them to remove from your body. Another thing I was doing is chaga. I did a video on brewing chaga a while back, and I can attach that to this video as well. You can buy chaga at the health food store and just take tablets, you know, the capsules, or you can brew your own. Luckily, up here, it grows on the birch tree. So that is a gift in itself. And all these things are different kinds of viral parasite type killers, things that will help balance the body. You're going to be balanced more once you get all this stuff to where it's not overload. And I did milk thistle. I've been doing a lot of stuff and I don't want this to get confusing. It's just so much. But what I'm going to do is in the description, I'm going to put all the notes of everything I did, how much I did it. And then also remember that everybody's different. You know, I have a cousin that's that energy healer. She's got that naturopathic kinesiology thing where she was telling me how much to take. If you can go to a naturopath or somebody that knows more about it to kind of determine what you need, or online, it'll even teach you how to use your fingers to ask questions. There's ways to learn your intuition on YouTube where you can teach yourself to ask yes or no, how many should I take? All these methods are super great as far as I'm concerned. Talk to your doctor if you're on medications. I mean, chaga, it can thin your blood. You got to make sure that the things that are out here aren't going to mess up your pharmaceuticals. I know grapefruit sometimes will affect some people's medications. Well, then you might want to just do it with lemons, because just lemon peels can be a huge immune booster as well. So I'm going to put it all in the notes. Just to go a little bit further on what happened that day. I went through the drive-through at my old clinic that I used to work at a couple blocks from home. How grateful am I to have that there? They knew I had COVID right away. It didn't take no time at all to get that back. And then they came out with this oxygen machine, this little sensor, and I was able to she took my oxygen and then sent me home with this so that I could go ahead and use this and keep track and make sure that my oxygen didn't go below 90. If it gets to 90, then they want to put you on oxygen. Well, I was at about 94 or 5. So luckily it wasn't horrible, but I didn't want to take a chance on not paying attention to that either. The other thing too is just listening to my lungs telling me that, okay, you're 10 days into this, your lungs sound clear. And even if you feel like you're short of breath, I think you're on your way out, you're on your way up. So just keep doing whatever you're doing. So I did, and I still am. I'm still doing the grapefruit lemon type concoction. It's supposed to be like homemade hydrochloroquine. That's up in the air. Some people say that isn't, some do, some say it is. But the lady that made the video I watched, she said, basically you're making homemade quinine, and quinine is something they used to treat that babesia with many years ago. So when I can get a temperature from something I'm doing, and I feel better or worse, it tells me that something's working. This lung tonic, I believe, was one of the biggest things that helped me the most out of all this stuff. And so if I would have known I had COVID right away, and like I said, maybe I didn't put the Q-tip up there, far enough in order to get a good reading at home. But if I would have known and got a hold of this right away, I think I would have been done with this faster. The chronic fatigue, the only thing I can say with that is that you have no choice but to sleep. You have to sleep, you have to rest. You can't push yourself, because the minute you do, you're going to be right back down. So if this can help anyone, it'd be wonderful. And I also was told by my cousin, take a spoon out of your drawer, check it on the fridge to see if it's magnetic. If it sticks to a magnet, rub that on the bottoms of your feet every day. What that does is it polarizes your body north to south, and it helps you to stay grounded. The other thing you can do is put your thumb in your belly button and one finger on your forehead, and this is called, I can't remember what it's called, but it grounds you to the earth and to heaven at the same time. And I'll think of it as soon as this video is over, but just push down and up at the same time. And it will help you be grounded, because being grounded is huge. This energy stuff, I feel like people sending me the energy, I just can't say how many people have done so much for me to help me get better and just taught me so much. And I wanted to share this with you. So I will go ahead and put all these things in the notes. And if you have any questions, absolutely comment on the video. I will answer anything, because I'm passionate about people getting better as fast as they can. So thank you for watching, and I will be back tomorrow with another video. Have a wonderful day.